Hi everyone, I thought that I would do this frog mandala. This is from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, and I'm aware I haven't done loads of Johanna Basford lately. I do try to do quite a lot because obviously we all love her, but there wasn't much in the way of Halloween, and I thought these frogs we could do in a more Halloweeny type style. So normally I would do them in a green and then do the flowers, which are the lilies, in sort of either a very pale pink or a yellow, and then lots of greens and things like that. We're going to do it a little bit differently to give it a little bit of a Halloween twist, which I thought would be fun. It's not going to be scary. I don't do scary Halloween, as well, you know by now. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer because we are going to start with the frogs. Now there are 5 frogs, as you can see now. Hopefully you can just about make them out. Here they are. And normally I would do them all the same and sort of do the whole thing in a sort of repeating pattern. But I figured if we did each frog in a different colour, that might be quite fun. And I'm going to do each in a bold colour, I think. I wrote a list actually. Some maybe not so bold as others, but in what I think might be sort of Halloweeny colours. So we're not going to go with green at all. It's not going to be a green frog or a brown frog. We're going to go for bright colours. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Some of them are frog colours. Some of them maybe aren't, but you know. So we're going to start there with the frogs, just work through each one, and then we're going to work on the rest. I'm not sure if I do all of it or a portion of it, but with the frogs we're going to do all of them, and then I'll see where I'm at. So I'm going to come in closely to this first frog here. Now I decided to use my Staedtler Design Journey pencils just because we've got quite a lot of details. We've got to colour around all these spots and things like that. My book wants to not lie flat. Anyway, sorry about that. So I thought it might be easier to use a smaller pencil, but I want to layer it up so it's fairly, so it's quite bold. I'm going to start with a blue frog. Okay, now we can get blue frogs. I see them in my local sort of wildlife place that I go to. This is the 339. We're going to start here with this one. I'm just going to get going. Now, just to sort of point out that each frog is drawn the same way, and it's got these little lines on the belly as if it's darker under there. Now, because they're all at different angles, they're all going to have if the light was coming from a certain position, it would mean that they would all have different shadows in different places. But to keep it simple, I'm going to pretend the light is coming onto the back of the frog, whatever angle it's on, just to make it easier for me to colour. And hopefully you'll appreciate that too. So we're going with our darkest colour right down here where these lines are, and then start to fade it up. Yeah, so a poison dart frog can be blue, but some of the other colours I'm not so sure of. Most of them I am, but not all of them. So anyway, we'll just use our imaginations a little bit. I think it's good fun, isn't it? And as I say, a bit of a Halloweeny twist. I know blue isn't necessarily what you would associate with Halloween, but I sort of ran out of colours. But I think just because it's a little bit different, and being a poison dart frog, I mean, that's a little bit scary, isn't it? Probably. You don't want to ingest the poison from them. Absolutely not. So as you can see, I'm just marking out some areas that I want to be a little bit darker on our frog. I'm trying to use quite a bit of pigment so you can see the difference between these darker areas, and then when I use a slightly lighter colour you'll be able to see the difference. I do need to fade this up quite far though. The further you fade it up, the easier it is to sort of get it to blend into the next colour or layer into the next colour. If we're going to be precise about the way the Staedtlers work, I'm going to put a little bit around the edge of each of the toes. I think that's the right name. I do want a darker bit, but I want that flapper skin to look much darker. So we're just going to have a go with that, and a little bit on the edge of the sort of legs. I assume this is a leg, not an arm. Animal anatomy is not my strong point, which is fine. Oh dear. A little bit darker there. And maybe under here too. Okay, I might just do a bit on that back leg there. So now we're going to pick a second colour. We may go back to this one if I feel that it needs a little bit more. That was the slate blue dark, wasn't it? I'm thinking, yes, that the cobalt... Number 3, blue. That's what I'm going to use next. I think this is it. No? Is that it? Yeah. So number 3, blue. Now what I am going to do on each frog that's the same, to give a little bit of consistency, is do all the spots in black. I think that looks quite Halloween-y, a bit scary. You know, the poison dart frogs do have black spots, I think. It was quite funny yesterday. I was just thinking I can't visualise them, so I don't really know. I can't really do that very well. I was talking to my parents yesterday. They came around for lunch, which was lovely. And we were talking about dancing, because we both like watching the dancing show. And I said something, and then my dad said, can you visualise them dancing round and round when you say that? I was like, no. But interestingly, my mum said she couldn't either. So I'm wondering if it's her that I get that from. I mean, it might not be genetic, obviously, but it's just interesting, the sort of lack of being able to sort of visualise things very well, particularly faces. My son has trouble too with the faces, which he assumes he's inherited off me. He may have done. He doesn't mind that much. I'm going to take the colour right to the top, but I may put another one on the top. But I'm just going to... Now, when you're using a harder pencil like these, you do have to be a little bit slower and more patient. I'm only laughing at myself because I'm neither slow or patient. Because if you try and go too fast or too hard initially, you might get little streaks or uneven texture, things like that. And it depends what you're going for, but you know, it can be worth just spending a little bit more time, layering up a little bit more slowly so you get a more even look to it all. So just a little hint or tip for you. Whoops, with the smushier pencil, say the Prismacolor, you can just splodge it all down and then smush it about. It's quite fun. But I have seen a comment before where someone said it was like colouring with lipstick and splodge, it was so smushy. I think it must have been really hot because they do melt in the heat a bit. So, because I've never found them that soft. So it was quite an interesting comment. Anyway, just going all the way up all our little areas. Now I have coloured over some of these spots just a little bit. I'm trying not to, but it's not too crucial because they're going to be black. They're going to be coloured over quite well. So we need to just have a final colour to sort of burnish some of those lighter areas. Now, I was going to go for the number 63, which is the Delft Blue, which is just a lighter version. But what I'm wondering I'm going to do is use the, I'm just checking, 37. Now the 37 is quite a bright blue. And I think this might make it look a little bit more glowy, but I'm just wondering whether that is too intense. I think I'm going to go for the 31, which is quite pale, but I think it might just help. It might give it that glowy look a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be able to necessarily replicate this on all of the frogs. And it might not work even on this one. But just to give it a sort of lighter, glowier look. Excuse me. Yeah, I had a sort of early snack / lunch. Well, husband went shopping last night and I asked him to buy me a bag of crisps. So he did, and I ate them for my lunch, but early. I was really hungry. And I had quite a big breakfast actually. But anyway, I decided that I'd just eat before I came and recorded this, because I wanted to record this before my son comes in, because I need to try and encourage him with some homework. wish me luck. And well, it's not homework, it's actually a job application. He's got homework to do as well. So anyway, I want to gently encourage him. Let's just leave it there, because he's actually got an unexpected extra amount of time because one of his lectures was cancelled. Now we're going with the black, and I'm going to do all the spots. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to do them darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, and see how it looks, because I can easily plaster some more black on and make them completely black, but I don't know whether it'll look more interesting if it's sort of faded upwards. Problem with this one is it's blue, so if I fade it upwards it looks blue. Maybe it's better to do it this way, make it darker on the edge. I think I'm going to do that. Sorry for you who those of you who did it my way, my original way, but I think I'm going to make it dark on the edges, and then if I've gone over the edge I can go over it with the black. It'll hide it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I think it looks quite nice, not scary at all, but hey, I think that's okay. So yes, my son's lecture was cancelled this afternoon. He didn't know how long it was going to be. It has a sort of guest person coming in. I'm just going to sharpen this in a minute. It might help us. And so he's got a sort of unexpected longer afternoon. So I'm going to say, look, you wouldn't have used this time for, you know, I'll see what I can do. It depends if he's in the mood, you know, how they are. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm not sure what time he's coming in. He would have finished about, oh no, he won't have finished yet. He's still got half an hour in class, and he's got to get a train. He'd probably eat his lunch first. So yeah, it'll be ages yet. That's good. Now if you want to, you can do all your black spots first. I'm wondering whether to do that so I'll remember how I'm doing them, or whether to do it as I go. I don't think I'll forget how I'm doing them. But now I've said it, probably will. If you don't have the Staedtler pencils, by the way, I do have some comparison swatch charts between Staedtler and other sets, so hopefully you'll be able to find the set that you own in the chart. Now what I have decided to do to give it a real sort of Halloween-y look is to make their eyes red. So I'm going to use the 299, the dark carmine, to do, see if you look at the eye, you can see there's a white circle, then a black circle, then a white circle. Now I think the very center white circle is the shine in the pupil. So I'm just going to put in a red iris. There we go. Oh, that stands out, because frogs sometimes do have red eyes, don't they? So I think it's fine. Now, next one here, we're going clockwise apparently, is, I wrote down the order I wanted to do them in, yellows. Right, now I'm not a yellowy fan, I'm a bit scared of yellow. I'm going to do some browns and yellow, so it's not quite so hard. Well, not brown, but this 16, which is the golden ochre. So I'm going to start with that because it's a little bit easier for me. Yeah, make it easy for me. So we're going to do the same as before. So a nice dark, intense layer here and fade it like that. Yeah, I got to just remember what I did, but I think I can. Oh. So yeah, I hope everyone's okay. I'm feeling quite jolly today. I had a very good sleep last night, which haven't been sleeping well for various reasons. And last night, I don't know if I was just exhausted or if, you know, I don't know. But anyway, I fell asleep. My husband was worrying about a meeting that he's got today. So he didn't sleep very well. He said I was really snoring, but he didn't think he would wake me up, which I'm very pleased about. I hope I didn't keep him awake too much because I was so shattered. But he didn't know I was really tired. I don't really tell him. he hasn't got the time to worry about things like that. When he's at work, you know, 3 days a week at work, his head is fully in work. You know, he hasn't got time to engage with anything else. I'm glad that he only does 3 days, really, because before it used to be he was like it all the time, and you know, even on weekends, very tricky to sort of even really engage with him very much, which is why I suggested, well, part of the reason why I suggested he do less hours. Now I want a sort of browny yellow, so the number 11, which is our sand, usually works quite well, although it looks quite orangey on camera. So we're going to extend our areas. Oops. So go over what you've done, extend it quite a long way up, fade it off. We'll use something really bright at the top. I'm just going to sharpen it. I thought yellow, although it's not really Halloweeny, I thought there are yellow frogs. They aren't quite this colour, but or the ones that I'm aware of. I think yellow poison dart frogs, aren't they? I think. Anyway, but I thought with the black spots, it would sort of be a really nice contrast. So I was sort of enjoying the idea of that. Now we have stars in the background here, and I am contemplating whether to do those black, just to give more of the Halloween vibe. I thought might be a bit of fun. So I'll have a think about that. Now our blue one, I tried to do more vibrancy on the back. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to do the number 1, which is more towards lemony yellow, so really bright, and hopefully it will blend in okay. We'll see what happens. So here it is, number 1. If it doesn't, I can use a bit more of another colour. But had loads of post today. Luckily I was in the kitchen, so when the postman rang, it didn't take me long to get to the door, because sometimes they don't hang around for long. But because you know, because I work upstairs, it can take a while. But he was very good, and I had 4, 5 things. I was like, wow. But of course we don't always seem to get post every day, so I guess it's just a mixture of older stuff. So my husband got a parcel, don't know what that is. He also got his prescription. He gets private prescriptions, the actual script, so he'll have to put that in on Friday, but that's okay. And what else did he? Oh, we have a subscription to Positive News, so we got the latest edition of that. Right, Red Eye number 299, and oops, I keep missing. There we go. And we've got some junk. I didn't look at that. I just put it all on by his place, number 9 in the kitchen. So yeah, round and round. I'm going to sharpen it a bit. He looks all right, doesn't he? I quite like him. Yeah, being scared of yellow, I was a bit worried about. I almost didn't do a yellow one, but I needed to because of the way I planned out all the other colours and things. There weren't any other options. And I thought he would pop next to the blue one. I sort of tried to order them in a way that makes them pop, but we'll see. I couldn't quite get it exactly how I wanted. I'm making a mess of this. This one is really messy. Anyway, if it's too hard for you to try and make it paler in the centre, like I am managing to completely mess up, you can just make them solid. It really doesn't matter. I don't think you can even see what I'm trying to achieve from this anyway. The idea is that if it's a bit lighter in the middle, the spot looks like it's raised. But as I say, I don't really think it's showing up very much. Anyway, I'm having fun. So that's good. Although I am glancing over to the planner page, which I've got to make next. It was a page that I didn't know how to colour in the book. It's from Rooms of Wonder. I had no idea how to colour it, and when I did it I was disappointed. And now I've got to do it again. Wee. Oh, an idea has just popped into my head though. Let me see. It's the one, just so you know, in case you're wondering, with the lots of shelves of bottles in a cupboard, like potions. It's a great one for sort of Halloween-y, coming up to Halloween, isn't it? But how do you colour it? Lots and lots of bottles of potions, all slightly different. Bottles are not the easiest thing to colour, are they? Although I don't mind doing them too much. I think what I did with my my version that I did was next frog. What's our next colour? I gotta look, I wrote it down. Pink. Oh yeah. I was gonna go pink. Pink isn't a Halloween colour, is it? But I've got, yeah, those. Whoops. Oh, I don't know if that one will work. Would it work? Will that work? I'm going to try something. Right, we're going to start with 61, our sort of pinky purple. I can't remember what it's called. It's called dark mauve or red violet. So, yeah, again, pink isn't, but I thought it would clash really nicely with the yellow and with the colour that's next to it. You won't, that you'll see in a bit. Not going to reveal. You have to keep watching. Keep watching. You will keep watching. I'll put a magic spell on you. Oh dear. She's finally gone. Doolally. Alright, in here. So I'm not talking you through what I'm doing because it's the same. I'm just desperately trying to remember and hope that I'm doing it the same as all of them. I did the others. I think I am though. It sort of comes natural because what naturally would I do, and then just do that. So that's okay. Oh, nose wants to drip now. I hope my boys both had cold. I don't want that. Not bad enough for them to be too ill, just bad enough for them to moan because, you know, boys. Oh, I sound very unsympathetic, but you know what it's like. Oh, you know, all that. You're like, oh, for goodness sake. Number 20. They aren't as bad as their father, that's for sure. And luckily he hasn't got it. Although he wasn't well this morning, but his tummy wasn't well. But yes, that was his IBS playing up. Unfortunately, important meeting today at work. I think I've taken that a bit higher than normal, but never mind. Yeah, I've been getting very, very obsessed with my dancing program, which is great fun. I'm following all of the dancers on Instagram. So I see so much footage about what they're up to and what they're doing. It's really good. It's such a fun program. I am actually going to take, because of my next colour, I'm just going to put a tiny tad of this all the way up on everything. Just a bit. Because, there we go. Because my next colour is a bit of a gamble. I'm going to use this slightly peachy colour, which is number 222. It's salmon, I think. I'm going to try it. Now, I'm not sure. I was either this or the light rose, and I thought the light rose might not provide a bright enough, light enough contrast compared to, because I think it's just a slightly lighter version of the 20. So we're going to try this and see, hopefully, it might give us that sort of slight glowiness that I was hoping for. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to take it all the way through. I want it to look different, so I'm not going to blend it right over the top of like this bit. Just part the way through the previous layer. I do feel my 61 needs a bit more burnishing, which I will do in a second. There we go. It's not quite there, but it will get there. So this is the 61, and I'm just going to put a bit more of it on some areas. I just want to see a bigger contrast between the light and the dark. Oh, my tongue popped out then. My dad was telling me something yesterday about tongues coming out. He was saying that the mouth and hands are linked in the brain, in the sense that, I'm just going to do a bit of 20 as well, just to get that blend. In the sense that if you speak or use your mouth, it lights up a certain part of the brain. But if you use your hands, it also lights up that same part of the brain. So they think there's some sort of connection between them. It's not something I've read anything about, I'm just taking his word for it, but he reckons that's why you sort of stick your tongue out when you're concentrating. But I don't know. You know, if you're doing something concentrated with your hands, you might stick your tongue out like if you're doing art. Right, I am going to put another layer of the salmon on the top, but I'm pleased with how that looks. So the 222, just a bit more now, and it's going to look even more bright, garish. Just gives it a bit of a different look, which I was after. There we go, a bit there and a bit there. Right, nice. Now the black, number 9. Oh, actually I'm going to do the eye in the red. 299 first. Oh my goodness, what a clash. Red eye and pink skin. Mr. Frog, what are you thinking? When you put your contact lenses in this morning, you should have put in the pink ones. Do you think? Yeah, the dancing program that I like always have a Halloween week, and some of them wear the contact lenses. But I think only people who normally wear them, or, you know, people who are happy with them, the costume department will never force someone to do something like that. But it's quite fun, I think, dress up. Sometimes it's a bit too scary, I think. I don't get really scared of it because it's a family show, but sometimes I think there's kids watching this. Do you know what I mean? If I was a kid, I would have been scared in certain bits. But anyway, this week isn't the Halloween week because I'm recording in advance, as always. It's movie week, and I'm quite interested in what they're going to look like as well. I think it's quite fun when there's a character, and sometimes they dance a lot better. They sort of act in the dance better because they're imagining they're that character, and it helps them get rid of their inhibitions because they're not themselves, they're the character, you know. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Really, it's quite early on as well. It's only week 3, so we've not had a great deal of practice yet, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm always excited by it, whatever going on. But the theme week, some people really hate them, to be honest, but I don't. Right, there's our next one. Moving across, this froggy here. This one is orange. It's going to clash with this one. Yay. Which shades shall I use? I'm just going to look at my swatch chart. I think, yes, 4 and 42 are the oranges. There are some reds that are really quite orangey, but we're just going to use these. So 4 first. I'll say that again, let's confuse you. It's the darkest one, but we might end with a yellow rather than an orange. But I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it looks. I think my oranges get used so much in October, and then the rest of the year they barely get used. Don't use orange a lot, a bit. But pumpkins. How many pumpkins have I coloured? Ugh, pumpkins. Really? I did do a page, you may have seen, it may not have come out yet on my socials. I did do a page of purple and pink pumpkins because I got so bored of colouring orange pumpkins. Oh, and I know some pumpkins aren't orange, and you know, but some pages I feel need an orange pumpkin. Maybe I'm sounding a bit weird, but it can balance the colours on the page and that sort of thing, and it just looks right. So, you know, but I sometimes do them green, but we always have a lot of green on a page anyway, generally from leaves, so trying to differentiate between pumpkin and leaves doesn't always work. And a bit there. There we go. So now we're going to switch to the number 42, which is our slightly lighter orange. Take the colour further. Yeah, but it has been fun having a theme to do Halloweeny stuff and autumn things and that sort of thing. Because of course next month will be all flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers from Johanna's new book. I might not do everything from her new book, I probably won't. But, well, planner pages for a start. But the idea is that I do quite a lot quite quickly because I am so excited. Not so excited for this as I was for Magical Worlds and Worlds of Wonder. Those two books are probably my favourites of hers. This one's going to be a bit more like World of Flowers, which wasn't one of my favourites, but since she did that one, her style has changed a bit, and there's some really, really nice pages that I'm looking forward to colouring. So yeah, I'm going to spread this to the edge like I did last time, because I am going to put some yellow here and I need to help it to blend. And by just layering a little bit up, it does help it a lot. So this time I'm not going to use the 10, I need something different. I think I'm going to use the 110, which is a really bright yellow, which I think will work better. I'm going to give it a sharpen though, just to help it. If you sharpen it, it tends to be able to saturate a little bit more easily. And like I did yesterday, I'm not going to take it all the way down. I'm just going to do the sort of edge and then just blend it down into the lighter orange without going right down to the darker bit. And have you guessed what our last colour is going to be? Write your guesses in the comments before I do it. I want to know how good you are. How good at guessing. Are you a good guesser? What colour would you do it? Did I even say? Maybe I told you. Maybe I've already given it away. I can't remember. So there's our orangey frog. I need to do its eye in the red. So this is 299 again. And then black spot time. I wonder what you've been guessing. Do put it in the comments. I like the comments, really help a video do better. So it's nice if you can comment if you can. Even if you just put a little emoji or something. Some people put a little heart, something, anything. It's very much appreciated. So it does make a big old difference. Right, we're getting somewhere. There we go. I'm running out of things to say, but we've still got to finish the frog. What should I say? What else were my parents talking about yesterday? We had a bit of a debate on some things in the news. We're not going to talk about that. It wasn't a heated debate. We actually agreed with each other. And we talked about tolerance. That's right. How everything seems to be so polarising these days. You can't sit on the fence or be in the middle. And my dad says he likes to vote for a central party politically. I know we don't talk about politics, but this is quite general. Because he feels that the other sides are both too extreme in one direction or another. And so that was interesting, although I know he doesn't always vote Central. But I mean, we are getting more extreme parties. But we never used to. We really used to just have a middle and one each side of middle, you know. But things are getting more extreme. I've got an upside down frog to do now. Our last colour is red. Now we've been using red for the eyes. I'm going to put that red eye in now. This is 299. But we need to potentially use some different reds, so we're not the same colour as the eye. So I'm just having a little look. I think I am going to start with the number 260, which is which is quite a dark red. Here we go, look. It's like a Tuscan red, but also sometimes called mauve, which is a very confusing name for a pencil that's red, sort of browny red. But we're starting with that just a little bit because we've got to move from one colour to another. Yeah. So it's quite dark, but I do want to go to a sort of regular scarlety type colour if I can find such a thing in a minute. But one thing at a time. I don't want to be looking over there at my swatch chart while I'm trying to colour this in. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Actually, I've seen someone on video do like blindfolded colouring or drawing and things like that. So, I know I'd be rubbish. I don't need to demonstrate it. I'm going to sharpen that a bit. Let's put a bit around the edge. Hence the need for the sharp pencil. And what do we usually do here? Put a bit there, don't we? What do we do with that leg? Just trying to look. I tend to be a bit darker here, that's right. Brain's gone. What you doing? And my mum was, yeah, she was saying, oh, sometimes I can't remember things, but I just don't worry about it. She said, I think, oh, if I'm going to get dementia, I'm going to get dementia, that's that. And I thought, that's a really good stoic attitude, isn't it? Just like, nah. We do have a scarlet red, which I'm going to use, the number 24. But it always looks quite orangey to me. But I'm hoping that mixed with this one, and then, you know, I think it will work. But if it doesn't, we can put something on top. Not going to worry too much about it, as always. Yeah, so she said, oh, if it happens, it happens. I won't know much about it. I was like, well, you might, but, you know, a good attitude, you know. But my dad said, Belle, you can do things to help yourself not get it. And he said, like keeping your brain active and being healthy and all this sort of thing. You know, I forgot to do around those. I'm just going to pick back up, not that colour, the 260. Just do this bit. And so he goes out to a lot of clubs to socialise. And he's learning to play the saxophone. He can play it, but he's having lessons to improve and playing in a band. So he's pushing himself to try and make sure that he stays alert and that sort of thing. Which is how he feels he can help to prevent himself getting that sort of thing. And I don't know if that works, but if it makes him feel better, that's great. You know, and he's pushing himself. He's not just sitting about at home. He practices every day. It gives him a little bit of a focus, you know. So I think it's all good. But my mum has never been into doing that sort of thing. You know, she's been a housewife since before I was born and just enjoys her own company, watching a bit of telly, doing a little bit of knitting, crochet. I was going to say embroidery, but she didn't really do that lately. Things like that. This doesn't look red at all. It looks vile. But is it quite a good Halloween colour or is it just gross? Can't decide. Okay, I'm going to use the final colour on it and then decide. but what am I going to use? Help! I was thinking of using like a yellow again. We've got yellows, but I don't know if that's going to work. What should I use? A red to make it look brighter. Oh, maybe this. Let's try the 43, this sort of peachy colour. I'm going to try this. Maybe I need to, I'm just going to grab that that 24 colour and take it right to the edge. You know, I said it helps them to blend because this peach is really light. I don't want any white gaps. There we go. So here's our peach colour coming. It's number 43. We'll see how it impacts the colour of the thing. Certainly doesn't look red. I don't know what colour it looks. I think I'm going to put a bit of the scarlet on top of it. It's not called scarlet though. I'll tell you the name in a minute, don't worry. And the number. It's probably more useful to you than the name. Where did I get the numbers from? Everyone always asks. Staedtler website. And yeah. So what I'm going to do is use this 299. It's actually the dark carmine. To just try to give it a hint of scarlet. So I'm going to go over the top of mainly the parts where I did the 20, was it 24? Yeah, so the bits where I did the 24 and also the darkest areas, just to give it, that's much better. If you compare this to this, I want that vibrancy, so that's good. Just a bit of a lesson there in how you can layer up to change a colour. So if something looks a bit muddy or isn't the colour you expected, you can add other colours to brighten and lighten, to change, to blend it, to do lots of things. So if it isn't going the way you want it, don't give up. Just keep layering up. If you've pressed really hard, layering up can get difficult. There's not enough tooth left in the paper for any more colour. If that happens, you can grab a pen or just let it be, you know. That's better. It still doesn't look truly red, but I'm happy with it now, so that's good. So lastly, we've got our black, number 9. Going to do all our spots. The black. I feel thirsty. I had to drink at 11:30. It's 1:45. I need to go and get another one in a minute. I usually have a couple at lunchtime though. I used to have one at 12 and then 1:30. And I used to always have, now I have lunch a bit later because we eat our evening meal a bit later. So I have my drink a bit later. But yeah, my lips feel dry. It's because I ate crisps. That's what it is. All those ready salted crisps. No wonder. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Alright, I am really pleased with these frogs. Let me show you what they all look like. Now let me just hold, I want to make our circle look like it's round. I'm going to take a photo of it, but for my thumbnail, and I don't want it to look like a wonky circle. If you put the book like that, because the paper goes loop, it can make it look really weird. But then I get a sort of light and shade effect on my page. That's from my lamp. But there we go. That's all I'm doing today. And tomorrow there's quite a lot to do, but because a lot of it is the same, I might not do all of it. I'll probably do all of the centre bit and then maybe a little slice like this bit, and then let you do the rest on it, possibly. Depends how long it takes really, but I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And so your homework for tonight is to guess what colour am I going to do the stars, the leaves, the vines and the flowers. Make some guesses. I probably told you earlier in the video because I'm rubbish like that, but have a think, see, or tell me what colours you would do them. I won't know because I won't read your comments until like 3 years time. I mean, you know, when this video goes out, 2 weeks time probably. So but I'd like to know what you're going to guess. But there we are for today. Thank you for watching. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.